the Jakiro over top, they could wrap around all the way through.
It's the poor man's smoke. They need this kill. Well, this is so much time wasted for them. I mean, you're 5k up, but at the same time, like we said, you're up against the Void, you're up against the Doom. And Nova, they've cornered him. They found him in the trees. Yules, there'll be a stun awaiting, and it's Yule when you drop.
Yeah, the thing about that is X-Nova not TPing out. That's dual damage guaranteed, basically, because you've got all 4 heroes there. So, let's see what LGD can do. Is that did open up a little bit of space for their cores. So, that Jakiro death is not awful, but it's not exactly... They can do without these deaths.
It opens up Roche. So they're going straight in. It's a little bit bold for the Void, but Void's just not ready to fight. So Chrono maybe not achieving as much as he'd need, especially without the Jakiro with the macro power. And there's Ghostic's just like, dude, anyone want to come to the pit? I could do with some more dual damage right now.
Yeah, they're not even going close to contesting this, and they've got the Pulse Nova as well as the Dive Edict working, Rage and Naive hitting away. There's no way that they could get into this pit, and I know LGD just feel this. They just can't get close.
Yeah, it's, like I said, good timing on the Radiance. Well, the Shrek is creating a lot of space. Legion is getting so many dual wins. LGD, they need some sort of maneuver, and they're going to go for it. Chalice leading in.
Naive.
Chalice? I mean, you want FN. FN's the target for him. There it is. The Doom comes out. He doesn't even try to club with the Infernal Blade first. Somnus stopping Lifesteal from chasing, but the press the attack. They'll just move away. Now the Ice Buff coming out. Rage is hit by Naive, and they'll find the Chalice. Oh, the Chrono! It doesn't heal into them. Arme just trying to do something. The Macropar comes out, but Naive just standing his ground, forcing all of LGD back. The Jaeger ship finally popped. The Static Storm comes down, but the damage from the Epicenter not achieving enough because Somnus did BKB. FN trying to chase through will miss the opportunity as they escape on the side of LGD, but they have to leave their dragon behind.
Yeah, that Chronosphere almost lands on the Lifestealer, just a little bit short in terms of AoE, just to land on 2 heroes. And I thought maybe Ame in a little bit of trouble, tries to TP out, and there's the disruption. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Found out again, dual damage once more, and FN gets the kill.
This is, I mean, it was looking not too bad. Like, LG, very bold. They did get the Aegis. They give it a Jakiro for it. They have to use a Chrono. But then you use Arme as well. And suddenly, this is just really not worth. Now they're going to push on the bot lane. There's 2 towers here. Empire don't need to stop. And the Shrek is right here. He'll push for it very quickly. Chalice on the back foot at the moment. But with no Doom, what are you going to achieve here?
Yeah, that last fight went a little bit wrong because when he went for the Doom, he doesn't land the Infernal Blade. So you can't follow up on that Leshrac, who stays alive. And then that completely turns around everything that LGD thought they had. So,
I mean, if you kill the Leshrac and still lose what you lost, at least you know LGD aren't going to push. But now you give them 2 towers, they extend the lead, and another duel coming out.
Kill off maybe. Ghostic takes out maybe, and
looking for FY.
And they are going to look for the Disruptor, and there's the blind stun from FN, perfectly placed. They'll get the kill. And they take out 2, so LGD lose 2, 10,000 net worth lead here for for Empire, excuse me, and the push is on. Ghostic fighting duels every moment it's up, it seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy's up to 72 duel damage, which is like, oh, that's not much, but you're 23 minutes into the game. This isn't like he had level 3 duel all the time, right? So he's found quite a few victories. And now they'll just stick FN on the high ground, go to work. They've got Naive here as well. You've got no defense right now. The Chrono's down. Disruptor's still missing for 15 seconds. TP from the from Doom, rather. Doom coming in on the back foot. Can Chalice do much here? He's got the Doom. The problem is how much they can delay the damage that comes out from it.
They're cleaning up the creeps very quickly. Ice Path comes through as well as the Dual Breath. Now they've got the Astro Imprisonment. Chalice, Invis trying to move forward, but the Sentry Ward is there, and Maposhka spots him. So now Chalice in a lot of trouble. The Blink with the Burrow Strike as well as the Infest. Chronosphere comes out, but this is gonna get them maybe 1, but the disruption from Maposhka saves the life of Ghostic for now. They'll finally take out this Legion Commander. They look for FN with a BKB. Maybe Somnus can do some work. The Ice Path doesn't hit, and the Thunder Strike finally slams him down, and they will take out those Shrek. Astro Imprisonment stops the TP of Maposhka, and with everybody here for LGD, they'll clean up another one, and that surprisingly goes well for LGD.
Empire just wanted to cash out of that. The key moment was when Yoku found no one at Epicenter. He got interrupted with a blink. He just had to stand there, just kind of, holding a schlong in his hand, going, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. No one's here. He starts to walk away. The rest of his team wants out and just get caught by the Ice Path, the Astral. FN, I mean, if he gets out, not too bad, but Thunderstrike. That's an awkward way to die, actually.
After all that's the ability that gets you.
That glorious story he could tell his children for generations. He dies to this little lightning slapping him in the face.
So it's still a 9,000 net worth lead for Empire. Maybe it doesn't go the way they want. They don't take the tier 3. But here's the Infest back on Ghost Stick. They don't want to let off the gas. They want to continue to go in. So you lose a fight here. You've got everybody up. Why not do it again? They don't have Chronosphere available to them just yet on LGD. And that's really the spot where you can fight on Empire.
Ghost Stick, I mean, he's moving towards the bot lane now. He wants more duel victories, especially now it's level 2. And he might find a Jakiro lingering around. Come around the back for Nova. They know roughly where he is. They go the wrong way. Oh! Yoku catches him! Nova, Ice Path, but they come out. And now Naive's going to go to work as he infests out. They want to give the duel across. The Macropire drops, but win for Gostic again. 86 damage he's up to now. And he's becoming formidable on the right click.
Yoku, that was...
It was fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, so they go down with Legion. And then, like, well, what's the point in sending 2 people down? You might as well check. The most common TP spot, that is one of them. Yoku guesses right.
Wow, perfectly done there. And actually, Disruptor has Axe. Somehow this Disruptor is at 7,000 net worth, above the Void. Again, the Void just... I mean, struggling.
It's actually depressing when you look and see a Void worth less than a Disruptor.
They might find Maposhka over bottom his Chalice. There's the Disruption. Well, Shrek is nearby, but not close enough to land the Split Earth, but slowed up his Chalice. There's the Burrow Strike in fast, overwhelming odds, and Soundness is going to say, I saw that, I'm out of here.
I mean, that's your most tanky individual, but they're going to find FY as well. The Yules comes out, and FN, he has a surprise for you when you get down. The Static Storm will not save your life, and FN, he should get the kill on FY easily enough. The double kill for him. Static Storm does a lot of damage to him there. Look at it. There's no one to follow up, though. And, I mean, just to get back to that previous fight, you saw how quick that Doom died? That's your tanky individual. That's your front line on LGD. And you blink for a second, he disappears.
Yeah, for me, LGD need to be fighting basically as 5. I don't know if they can really go for these 2-man pickoffs, as we see it not work again there, and it's all about how they position for the fights, and going after these pickoffs just doesn't seem to be good enough.
It's like we said, it's a 12k net worth lead. That's looking a bit grim, but it's where the gold is, and where the gold is not, more importantly. Like, we already commented on the fact that Void doesn't have much. Doom not faring much better. And like I said, the surprise is still the Disruptor. I like how he has this much gold.
Yeah, and LGD down 12,000, like, they could still bring this back. We saw them defend successfully over top. It, again, what I said was positioning, and I think on the high ground it gets a little bit easier for them to defend, especially if they can land a nice kinetic field Static Storm on 2-3 heroes, then you set it up a good Chronosphere to follow that up. So there are things that work well in tandem, and we'll see if LGD are able to make it work against this Empire team that is, in fact, so far ahead.
Well, Empire looking around. They're looking for Arme. Just keeping this Void depressed is perfect, because he's just got, he's had the Battle Fury off too long now, and this is the perfect time to just shut him down. Gostic is way in, but Arme is already suspicious. This is time wasted though, like space created, but once again, you need to be creating space for the Void, not having him create it for you. Gostic, Arme.
It's so close at the moment that... Oh, there it is. They spot him.
Gets a duel. Playmail as well, which means Arme is going to just die so quickly here.
Did Arme not have a TP that he couldn't get out of there?
I don't believe so. And he was very reluctant at that stage. He knew they placed towards the round somewhere on the cliffs. And on top of that, he knew he had heroes both sides of him. So the best thing he could do is wait for them to reveal, then try and time walk away.
They have no Chronosphere for 30 seconds. They are over top. They're not pushing, however, so it's not too awful. But yeah, they could go for Roche once it's up, and there it is. It's back up.
Hello. Into the Roche pit they'll go in a second, and they'll clear this up pretty quick. Maybe a little bit. Maybe they wait, look for another kill on to that Faceless Void before doing so. Debatable. They are feeling pretty confident. If they keep the sacking behind with an Epicenter, then they just jump in and Void disappears.
We'll see if they're able to do so as LGD just continuing to try and farm where they can. It's been hard for them to find anything, and they really would love something more on Ame. It's just he's found absolutely nothing. He finally has the Battle Fury, and there's nowhere for him to farm.
That's the thing, like, Empire playing is fantastic. They're keeping pressure, they're looking for the ganks on Legion, which means you're always paranoid as this faces forward. Look at this position, FN just waiting, naive. Somnus does use the banish, but where's the follow-up? Chalice needs to move forward quickly, and there's a static storm. He gets the rage off again. Naive wants to fight. Somnus, BKB'd up, but just wants to run away. Going through, the duel comes in. They'll get the kill on the OD. The rest of them in retreat, but Chalice gets caught. Yules won't allow him to escape. He does disappear. Magpie goes down, but the movement forward onto Jakiro. Another Yules coming out. The surprise for you when you get down is a forced up to safety. No chance. As they turn around, they find another one. Double kill for FN. We're on your high ground, and we're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. Empire, they may actually just break through the whole base here.
Yeah, all they got left is Ame and the Disruptor, so it just doesn't seem like they have enough to defend. The push is very heavy from Empire. They've got the Diabolic Edict to work with, as well as the damage coming out from Naive, as well as the Legion Commander, so it just doesn't seem like LGD have enough. But Ame fuels up and brought down, uses the Chronosphere, and now if he doesn't get a kill here, it's just not worth it at all. The Burrow Strike and the Disruption not lined up properly, and Ame will be able to time walk out, but look at your base. You've lost mid racks, you'll lose top racks. Chronosphere no longer exists for the team. Where do you go?
Chalice, once again, like, he can't find these entry kills with the Doom anymore. And, I mean, this is what we were talking about, this Void being poor, dirt poor. He can't kill the Sand King in a Chrono. That's his only target. And you just, in my head, all I could hear was squeaking noises, like tickles of light pain on the Sand King. And this is the pivotal issue. They need to somehow funnel more gold into Void. But the way Empire are playing this, the way they're being aggressive around the map, is perfect to shut that down. And now they'll just get their hands on an egg and some cheese.
Yeah, it should be an easy, uncontested Roach, but as I say that, LGD are starting to make their way over, so they might want to go for this. There's the blink with the duel onto this Jakiro. The glimpse is not back in time, and he's like, all right, I got my duel damage. I'm out.
Oh, thanks. I needed a quick way back, just in case you guys initiate. What a lovely person. The thing is, they're only sticking 2 in the pit. The rest are actually going to go aggressive. So
they're actually looking with a Sand King, as FY might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the chase on from Chalice, but again, he's Yules up. The Static Storm is out. They've got the Ensnare coming through on the Legion Commander. Ame comes in, but again, he doesn't have this Chronosphere. They've got the Scorched Earth rolling from Chalice, as well as the Inferno Blade hitting from Yoku again. But there is nothing here for LGD that's going to work to slow them down. Astro Imprisonment into the kinetic field, trying to disengage. The Burrow Strike a little bit short, but Open Wounds comes out on Chalice. The chase is on, and the kill is there.
And Ame, what is he doing? I mean, he's got Chrono in 25 seconds, so that's interesting positioning. Retreating from his base, just trying to cut the creep wave. But this is not going to stop LGD, Empire rather. LGD need to stop them. The buyback on Doom, but can they achieve much of this? The Chrono should be ready about now. This is their best shot. Moving forward by Naive, going straight up and force the Astral to be used defensively. Jakiro on the back foot will be aggressive. The Rage finally running out, which means they can turn on Lifesteal, taking a decent amount of damage. The BKB from Somnus will buy some time. Naive has to eat the cheese quite early just to get his mana back, but Ruin in place. They're looking to kill him. The Astral just dodge out the split up, but it misses, and now FN, he's waiting because as soon as you come up, blink away. Creating a lot of space. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Gostic trying to get Ame, but needs to be careful. He's worth a lot of gold. Backs up here. And the Chrono, they even put down an ice path. They just want this kill so badly, they'll find it. But meanwhile, on the other side of your base, FN is doing so much work. Chalice getting super low, and now Naive turns around, gets killed to FY. Back towards the rack. They need to look for base, and they need to get out. FN decides to retreat. He's low on health. He doesn't want to give up that Aegis. If LGD chase on the high ground here, though, Naive is waiting. Ame, they see him, they jump through, oh, that's the movement back with the time warp perfectly, but they find him as well. And now Yoku, no stun on the other side, looks like Lifestealer. He's saved by the disruption, and now they're going to move forward. FN looking for X-Nova, can they kill him off quick enough? Yes, they can. Doom cannot even get rid of this Aegis. Ame going to die as well, trying to move away with the Time Walk and the Shadow Blade, but it's not enough. FN just stands there and ticks him out. Everyone died on LGD. OD, I don't think he can bring this back for them. It's going to be at least Megas, and I'm not sure if LGD can hold this. GG. They tap out. They've had enough.
Wow, nicely done there from Empire. Looked like it might be on the tip of going wrong in that fight, but they're just so far ahead. They're so tanky. They're so ready to fight that they just fight all the way through, take out LGD multiple times, and finish off this game, evening it up at 1 and going to a game 3.
I mean, you know, Empire looking a lot more stable this time around. LGD really betting on that Faceless Void, and it just felt like Empire read it perfectly.
Yeah, Void had absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, Any advice you can think to give LGD going into that next game?
Nothing that they should be listening to, that's for sure, with how good I am at Dota.
Yeah, I mean, looking at, like I said, the Void, I don't think it's as much LGD did things totally wrong as Empire just had the right idea. They shut down the Void, the Shrek had a great lane, and as a result, you just end up with a scenario where you're retreating from the Shrek all the time, your rebuttal is a huge cooldown, and the Faceless Void, most of his chronos were defensively oriented. He had one great one that was free heroes bot, but he had no follow-up damage. His teammates did not have the levels to do that damage, they just had to run with it. In fact, I think in that one they left the Void behind to die. So, one apiece. Looks like this series will be going to the best of three as well. Well, the action has definitely started to kick up here at EPICENTER, but you know what? I'm going to sit back and sip some Monster and allow some people that very much know better than me what they're talking about to give us a professional rundown of what just happened in that match. Over to you, panel.
Thank you very much. Yes, welcome back to the panel where we've also made an addition to our team. He's back from his training this morning. We'll find out what he's been doing. Kyle rejoins us alongside Kat and Gods to break down game number 2, where finally, they've been threatening to do this the whole tournament. Finally, Empire have learned how to close a game out, Gods.
Whew. Yeah, they got there.
Eventually.
Yeah, they had to dumpster that Ame Void. Really had to get there. There was just like no comeback. When you see a Void 33 minutes in with Battle Fury treads, you should have won the game. Like at that point, there should be no comeback. And sure enough, LGD couldn't pull it together.
Finally. Kyle, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah. Keep talking.
No,
Don't worry,
we had
Eventually we'll get you. There we go.
no, we had positivity training today.
Yeah, positivity
training.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, this should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, I learned today about how at the end of your sentence you can use different inflections to make things sound friendlier.
Like that.
So it's sort of like today, Newbie got dumpstered by Pain, and it doesn't sound so bad, right?
It's more like you're praising Pain rather than...
Exactly. Great job, Pain Gaming.
Yeah.
Instead of making fun of them for it.
Yeah, the alternative is, man, Newbie got dumpstered by Pain.
Exactly. That just sounds rude.
Because Lord knows Kyle would not be shoving it in Newbie's face that they're going to possibly be bottom 2 as Kyle predicted.
Completely unrelated tangent, but did you know that if you pick Terrorblade, you should ban Morphling?
Take TPP Morphing game 1 of this?
Yeah.
Baru Sojoy Crispy, hidup enak.
And it just feels like the team in this meta that can play the fastest is going to win. And Empire just has the ability to find kills. Like, it's this hero, he just runs around the map, and you either kill creeps or you kill heroes. It's the same with Gyrocopter. We just saw Mineski took a game off call using that as well, where you just don't ever have to slow down.
Hey, he just keeps on farming neutrals as well while he's making these rotations around the map, so it feels like it's just such a fast-paced hero. The combination here of losing lanes and then not having, like, at least in game 1 they had some lane shoves, so they could, you know, split out the side lanes. It's actually one of the big reasons that they managed to make that comeback in game 1, even though a big part was also FN losing his life as the Morphling twice. I think the lane shove really helped them out here. LGD actually do not have that option whatsoever, so they're just forced into constant team fights that they're behind, and they're going to keep on losing.
Yep, and I just don't like the style LGD employed in this game. Ame is the complete opposite of a playmaker. When you draft Disruptor, and specifically Jakiro, like, you're playing around the Void. Doom is just not some hero that can really make the same sort of rotations. All your spells are cooldown dependent, and Ame is like rushing Battle Fury. Like, I'm sure.
Master Madness build was.
You go Aquila, you get a mask, maybe a Shadow Blade. You just run around, you farm aggressively, but you just like. How does he die in this game, you know, other than duel? Like, yeah, you can catch, like, maybe a triple stun or something, but then you're making space for your team. But I just watch him farm, like, conservatively, and his item build doesn't allow him to do anything.
Maybe just got a sharp reminder that he cannot be the hard farming carry, because Ame won't create the space for him.
Yeah, like we saw that yesterday, right? And they looked really good when Maybe was on the hero that could control the tempo, and Ame was just, you know, like doing a Yogi Bear impression.
I think there was also LGD And I think we also made this error. I think the interactions, the mechanics of the OD imprisonment into Static Storm or the Ice Path and the Shatter Needle Disruption, like you actually don't get the lockdown on the Lifestealer, right? He's actually able to get the rage off in time, and you saw at least one fight there over that mid-tier 2. They lost because they thought that was going to be the start of a good team fight for them.
But it was.
Stats on screen showing a very dominant victory for Team Empire. And we spoke about this, I think, 2 days ago, Kyle, that this is a team that they didn't look too bad in their opening games. You know, they looked like they probably should have won Game 2, could have even won Game 1 in that first series they played. They looked the same in the first game here. I don't know if you caught much of the first game, but they were dominant in the first 20 minutes again, and again weren't able to, knock out a game. Finally, they do that now.
I think Naive is one of the better pickups I've seen recently. I think he's really, really skilled, and he's playing the game really fluidly. I think a lot of people underrate the importance, not of like talent and like laning phase, but more what item builds does this player utilize, where does he farm, and how quickly does he read the map. I think game sense in specific is super undervalued by the community at large, and it's also very hard to recognize because we have the luxury of playing the game or watching the game with no fog of war, but they don't have map hacks on, so not every Redditor could play a game as well as this guy.
And that's why you need to watch replays as a pro, so you can understand, hey, actually, yeah, we had Fog of War, but maybe I need to have that game sense to understand that this is where the hero is going to be on the map, and this is why these lanes need to be pushed out.
It seems like his style is, it's funny because we're contrasting him as the quote-unquote, like, safe lane carry versus Ame, but I feel like their styles are quite different.
Wildly different.
And part of it is always going to be the hero pickups. I'm not sure if we've seen Naive in more of the farming style heroes that Ame has always been adopting, but at least what I really like about his play, as you said, is very fluid in the regard that I feel like he plays very active with his team. He knows when to be able to shove out these lanes and still be with his team, to be able to be there for these team fights. He's very good at being the aggressor.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite extraordinary when you think about it. He only played 6 games with them before they came here. Official pro game, so he's doubled that inside 3 days of playing with him. He already looks quite comfortable.
Yeah, I would agree.
Inside the team, not just in terms of what he's playing and how he's playing, but actually the chemistry looks good.
I think that game is a good example of just how you can simplify this patch, and it's something VP does very well, and obviously they're on another level in comparison to most teams, but you pick 3 cores that play in every lane, right? And you have 2 supports that can rotate around. You have this 1+1 concept where any core and any support is going to land a kill. And as an example, we saw OG, we weren't covering the series, but they ran a Beastmaster Lesh Visage in a game with 2 supports that could rotate, Furion and Shaker in one game, and it was, I think, Tusk AA in another. And the game's just simple, because even if somebody dies to some sort of rotation, I think an underrated aspect of the TP change was that even though they're cheaper, the cooldown is now so long that if you have the ability to move around the map quickly and punish teleports, it doesn't matter if somebody dies, because you now have the other 2/3 of the map free. And 1 creep wave, like, I want to do the math at some point, like, how much is 1 creep wave of denied experience worth in comparison to your support that just died? Because in truth, I'd say they're pretty equal, and there's a map control component that the creep wave gives you that the hero doesn't.
Yeah, there's always a big advantage to being kind of the first mover when it comes to the one setting the tempo and being like, we're actually going to go for this gank, and having to reactively TP. Like, you can reactively TP and then decide, like, no, our hero's already dead. You cancel that TP, it's a huge loss. If you actually go for it, you could actually lose the fight because the enemy team is already preemptively set up for you. So it feels like this TP change is hugely punishing to some of these teams that have a more reactive style.
I think the best example of that, like CD, CTI run, where every game aggressive gyro up, I'm level 6, level 7, TP to my offlane. That is like the completely wrong way to play Dota right now. It feels like you show your TP at offlane, suddenly, boom, your mid lane is getting dove out. The other lane, those other 2 lanes are just instantly lost, and that team will just vacate that lane because, hey, we can go win these other lanes. We can take the map elsewhere.
Which is where vision is so important, right? The information.
And respawn times just seem super low. Like, I don't know if it's just me. Early game is, like the Shaker dies at level 3, he's bottom in 7 seconds, right? But I was watching some game, and some hero was level 18 and died, and it was a 50-second respawn. I was like, if you let's say you die like tier 2 in the top lane, right, on the enemy side of the map, you're gonna respawn by the time the creep wave could make it to your tier 2. Like, I don't know if that wasn't even changed, was it? I'm just realizing it. Like, wow. Like,
the
who cares if we die?
later levels, if I recall, the later levels did give a little bit more forgiveness. So maybe that's where that 18 comes in. I would say like a big part is that it feels like some of the supports are a lot lower level because of the bounty rune, no longer giving experience.
That's very true.
That's one thing that I kind of look at.
I think it's another reason it's so important that it took experience out of the map, right? A lot of these changes to the game, removing experience from the jungle, removing experience from bounty runes, like, you need to kill creep waves. You have to. And I think that the heroes that are going to become more and more popular, even like this Lifestealer with the Radiance build, he can just sit in a creep wave, farm a hard camp, run back to the creep wave, and how do you punish that when you can always rage TP? We saw Ramses the other day. Just cut a wave. And you now have to wait that 30 seconds for the next creep wave if you want to continue pressure, and he's already farming the other half of the map.
That's where you look at some of the popular picks we're seeing early on, whether it supports cores, Leshrac, Sand King, still as popular as ever, despite nerf after nerf. This hero pushes lanes, he can just be very active. Compare that to Nyx Assassin, does not push lanes. We saw it in game 1, it did win, but what does it do the first 5 minutes? It used to be you could play Nyx, go around, pick up bounty runes, get some levels, you're going to get your level 6 fast. Now you're going to just sit in your lane and leech XP. It feels like this hero just doesn't have a game as a 4.
That's why I think side lane heroes always need to be buying bottle, because otherwise the bounty runes aren't even worth the travel time. They really aren't. Like, as an example, the change to wards, right? When I play support, I buy 2 sentries at the start every game. Because worst case scenario, I'm spending 100 gold and I'm getting 100 experience. That's what the trade-off comes down to, because you're always going to be able to get the ward in the camp with 2 sentries.
And the offlane is like the quintessential, like, this is the experience role, where experience is so much more important than gold. And when you take away these bounty rune experiences, and then you add in the fact that denies are so heavily denying you experience, then you just feel constantly starved. And that's why I totally agree with you. I'm buying bottle on every single one of my offlaners, because I'm like, I should be taking control of this bounty rune, but it doesn't give me experience, so I need to have this constant sustain to somehow stay in lane. I have to be around those creeps constantly. I can't walk back to base because it's so much time lost.
Exactly. And I again point to the patch. I really think this group stage is going to cement certain concepts into the meta, because you're going to see, I don't want to say, Empire and LGD, do we really come into this tournament thinking that they're on the same tier? But I think the draft is just the game. Look at LGD's heroes. Void, OD, Doom. Where's the lane shove? You got Leshrac, Radiance, Lifestealer on the other side. How do you punish that? Like, you can get a couple kills, but every minute Empire's going ahead, not in gold, but in experience. And they just get map control, and the game's easy from that point.
And still large importance on the laning phase as well, which we saw from both Game 1 and Game 2 here. I mean, Legion Commander is a great example of a hero that's supposed to be pretty bad, but in this game, it's so good in the laning phase. It gets rid of so many of these damage over time spells. It punishes a Void where he's forced to get out of that lane and go against a Lifestealer instead. He was very unhappy.
Yep, and I think that there's going to be so many games where people are going to recognize this, and they're going to say, okay, we need to win our lanes and kill creeps, and have to have some method of doing Roche. And if we can do that, we'll probably win. Or at least have a shot to.
He's probably over there. Don't you ever third pick my hero again. First game, Terrorblade. Second game, Void.
I feel like one of those games where they should have gotten a more traditional Ame Fama and put in maybe on more of his, like, Viper kind of tempo-ish heroes. Like, it looked like a great Viper game. You know, Sand King Lesh, like, bust out a third pick Viper, and then pick up Ami's hero later on that can just, you know, farm and be more the win condition hero for them.
The Void's fine, but when I see it work, there's an Underlord on his team, and a Leshrac, like a Beastmaster, and I don't know, like a Terrorblade or something. That I haven't seen that in live, but you know what I mean.
There's at least
stuff. There's damage.
If there's an OD Void, there's like a Sand King offlaner. You know, something that is going to be able to like get a Blink Dagger and make some shit happen. Because Void OD won't
even
do
SF,
it for you.
right? Like, I think SF's underutilized even after a couple of nerfs, just because you accomplish so many of these goals. I also want to see people start to take the presence on buildings over the move speed, because it's a free deso on towers, and I really think that that's something people can start to utilize.
Draft is moments away for game number 3. Just a quick reflection on Xnova's performance in that last game. We mentioned that he hadn't played a huge amount of Jakira. In fact, he'd only played it twice before for LGD and lost both. That's now a 0-3 record. He went 1-10-5 in that, which, you know, not It's not really chipping in, is it?
Yeah. And that's a good hero to discuss because it's one of my favorites. And that also ties into the point about experience and why it's so valuable because of talents. And talents are timings in this meta at the moment, and really just in the game of Dota 2.
Do you like the XP talent?
Okay, it depends on the game. It's
Well,
funny.
we've seen plenty at level 25 Jakiros as a result of that by 40 minutes, so...
It depends on the type of game I'm playing. If you're responsible to like shove lanes and be that guy that's probably going to die split pushing, I actually don't want it because my respawn time's going to increase dramatically, and I really think that your level 15 talent is the real game-breaking one because you start doing 800 damage a dual breath.
Empire going with the liquid opener here in game number 3. Axe Sky. It's been their strategy this series. Let's dumpster Ame. Let's give him a non-lane. They had the right idea in game 1. It worked. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the win. They probably should have won that game with how far ahead they were. And I think LGD have not adapted to this constant pressure going to Ame's lane, considering he is kind of the key player playing these hard farmers in most of their games.
I like the fact that Empire have highlighted him as a player who can't play any other way, and if they can kill him off in that lane, they stand a better chance of walking over the game. I like that.
Yep, I think if you look at the top teams, they don't have a player that can be exposed. And were I game planning for LGD, I would 100% point at Ame as the guy I wanted to force to beat me in a tough situation. I
mean, he's been run over 2 games in a row. I know they won game 1, but he's been absolutely slaughtered in 2 games out of 2.
Mm-hmm. I don't wanna flame. I turned over a different leaf, but
This duo takes away so many of his carries too.
Does.
He's not going to be happy with Terrorblade. Not going to be happy with Morphling.
This is like the game where if it's like, Liquid in his shoes, it'd be like, all right, Machi, you're going to go play safe lane and be like some sacrificial hero, Play
Venno.
something. Yeah, play a Venno, maybe a lone druid or something, just sit there and get the best out of the lane.
Yeah, and he's fine with it.
Do a Razor
He'll actually
safe
enjoy
lane or
it
something,
in some sadistic way.
Yep.
Ame, on the other hand, has a relatively narrow pool, it has to be said, of his most played in the last 3 months. Terrorblade, Gyro, Troll, PL, Void. And that's it. That's his core 5 right now.
the scary thing for me is how many different ways does he play those heroes? I think Terrorblade's the only one that he's really demonstrated a mastery of.
Yeah.
And
keep in mind, he's played 24 matches on Terrorblade in the last 3 months heading into this tournament, and 43 Terrorblade matches all time.
I have some hope for LGD in this game 3, even though they felt like they should have gone stopped in 2-0 already. Because of the Bounty Hunter pickup, it feels like this is a hero that you want to be active with, and that is something that they need to be able to challenge Empire in. They need to be able to challenge them in this laning phase. They need to have a good timing at 20 minutes. They can't possibly have the same kind of 25 minutes that's happened 2 times in a row. Maybe like an Ame Monkey King, like that's probably his fastest hero that he has in that list, right?
Yep.
the Empire reminds me a lot of having to prep for Immortals constantly throughout the early part of this season, and we always had a ton of success against them because we recognized they had one style, which was to play incredibly aggressive, pressure throughout the mid-game, and try to kill you. And the answer to defeat that is not to pick things like Void Doom, but to pick heroes that can kill them back and capitalize on their over-aggression. And I'm really hoping this is a Chalice clock instead of an FY clock, because you already look at Sky, Axe, like these heroes feed to Clockwork, and I want to see Chalice able, 7-8 minutes into the game, to just do what he wants and actually hunt Empire's heroes. You can't play on the back foot against a team that's proven that, hey, we're gonna just go run after you.
He had a dope-ass Clockwork game at DAC, didn't he? Somebody did, where they had a Blade Mail game. Yeah, and they lost that game anyway.
They did, and
I remember that, because Chalice, that was the first time I'd ever seen him be like a super aggressive offlaner, and he looked fantastic in it.
FY has also played the clock, so they do have a little bit of flex in that pick.
FY played a loss today against, not yesterday, against Liquid.
He played it once before in the last 3 months before they came here as well.
Definitely with Carl on that. I think this support duo does not work at all, particularly when you have Army who wants to farm. I think send Clock even to the safe lane. Make him go against the Axe guy. I think it's pretty key that they give Arme some kind of lane elsewhere. This is the pressure lane. Don't put Arme against the pressure lane as you have twice in a row.
and I don't want to. There's obviously the hardest part about playing Terrorblade is picking the items to buy, but it makes things a carry has to do completely brainless. Oh, you need to play aggressively in the bottom lane? Well, send illusions there twice. Oh no, did you get jumped? Well, pop BKB and sunder somebody. You want to do damage in a team fight? Hit your reflection every 6 seconds. Like, specifically not having to actually put your body in danger in order to farm the right areas of the map, aka the hard creep wave to take. It's not like playing, I don't know, Morphling. You have to actually be good to push lanes in that situation and sort of play on the edge, which is something we see Ramses and Miracle just do so well. And it'll be interesting to see how they choose to respond. I like the Shadow Demon again as well. I think this hero is going to be picked more and more as the tournament continues. The Shadow Demon, like the ultimate is just nuts, really.
I was going to bring one other hero up, which we haven't seen at this event, which Empire played an awful lot and had some success with in the qualifiers, which was the Edge.
It's real. I don't know if you can pick it at this point. I look at the draft, I think, all right, you need some.
Look at
You got a lot of.
Yeah, not necessarily in this draft, just why has it fallen out of favor?
Look at the most popular mids right now. One of them is going to be the Leshrac. All right, Dumpster's Enchanter's pretty hard. Lina, another great hero for that.
Yeah.
I think there's just like too much magic damage coming out right now for Enchanters to feel like a comfortable pick.
Ench isn't a hero that loves the dual lane kind of that we're seeing as much now anyways. It like those kind of
True.
She likes
solo
roam.
off. Yeah.
She likes 4 positions that roam around into her lane, and also the fact that she's in a 1v2, right? Because she beats 1v1 support so often.
There's also the Untouchable got nerfed too, so it's not as strong at level 1, and as a support you don't just automatically lose trading.
Here's something that we did expect to see a little bit more of. We have seen it once already.
I'm a fan of this. It's probably FY Silencer. I think he's going to play that kind of safe lane support role. And this actually, if you want to go up against this Sky Axe lane where they're spamming Arcane Bolts, Battle Hungers, put an Arcane Curse on them, punish them for that spam, it's kind of a very good lane securing support for that safe lane.
As long as you have like a very active safe lane hero, I'm okay with it. Like a Gyrocopter.
Gyro is what sounded really good here.
Do you know what they have done as well with that silencer? They put it on Chalice before. Sounds a bit weird, doesn't it?
Weird, bit dubious. Tinker versus TB, okay. They just instantly go into the TB counter. They don't have to save their mid for last. They don't have last pick.
It's a really, really good pick here. I love Silencer Clock in tandem because especially with the Bounty Hunter, like if you look at their 4 heroes, you see the synergy. They're able to fight. They have a hero like Tinker, which is just super easy to refresh. Like he's in and out of fights. There's no real downtime for the hero as long as he's alive, and he just has an incredible matchup against Empire's draft.
Isn't there a large chance that like he's gonna have a hard time not getting found? Shadow Demon, Skywrath, Axe.
I don't. It's the Blink Rage with Aether Lens. Like you can smoke and kill him, but I would argue that Shadow Demon, Terrorblade, just the whole concept of what they're trying to do on Empire is just completely crushed by a Tinker. And theoretically, there's a clock, there's a bounty. You know, he's not gonna have any issues reading the map when he's got 2 heroes just sort of essentially just acting as his wards.
Particularly with the core clockwork, like you definitely have a team that is going to be more aggressive. And it'll set you up for those just free rocket kills.
That Monkey King pick, okay, that was I say that you suggested sounds really good now against TB for the safe lane. It gives you a lot of team fight, but no Monkey King. Okay, with Monkey King gone now, I don't know. What does that may play?
You just pick Gyrocopter.
I think it was Monkey King or Gyro the whole time.
I think that's no building push. I mean, Monkey King's the same thing, I think, but
thing is, in a draft, in a game like this, you can afford to play with less building pressure and just play more for kills and map control. And as we discussed the previous yesterday, it's all about keeping your own towers alive. If you can do that, you're going to win the game.
Do you want some more out there army picks over the last few months?
Let's hear it.
Sven, Arc Warden, Spectre, Tiny Lena Medusa. None of which he's won on, but they're out there picks for army.
I could see.
I like
Sven's
okay here, isn't it?
I like the Troll.
It's alright.
Yeah, the Troll is one of his most popular. I think that's probably more like.
The problem I have with Sven is he takes a lot of jungle, and so does Tinker. And next thing you know, you've got Skywrath Axe. Like they will very much enjoy you trying to farm jungle.
Yeah.
Safe
Come on,
as possible.
guys. Come on,
Safer.
guys. Branch
Keep
out.
it safe.
Come on.
We were trying to get, more creative, Kyle.
That's creative.
That is a
Very
great
creative.
choice versus Tinker.
It's going to be an interesting type of game because the clock, it's a core clock, and there's a bounty hunter. Like, these heroes, specifically Clock Silencer, you can find and kill this Tinker, but I agree, this is an excellent pick. I want to make sure, I'm not a fan of this, fast Ags build on Zeus. If he wants to, he should play this game like a Tinker.
Who picked up the Zeus, did you say?
Naive picked it up.
Naive? Yeah, okay.
I want to see, maybe even a Midas, a Bloodstone, Blink Dagger, bots. They play
need
for the
sword
6th
staff.
slot. Yeah, you play for the late game on Empire. You get towers early, but you trust that the Zeus will inevitably just crush this Tinker. And if they play too offensively, and they let Tinker just scale, and Zeus falls behind, they have no answer anymore, and killing the Zeus wins the game for LGD.
Yeah, it's like one of those classic. You were saying it's okay. It's one of the rare circumstances when you have a Tinker, you don't have to worry about taking towers. It's one of the rare strategies in this meta that you could just sit back and be like, we have the late game. We don't have to worry about the whole. They win one team fight and they end the game. But Zeus so hard counters Tinker that I think Empire have this.
All right, let's go down the line very quickly. Kyle.
I have to go first.
Yep.
I think LGD will take it. I got faith in maybe.
Okay.
Empire.
I'm also
Goals.
LGD.
Okay, 2 for LGD, 1 Empire believer as we head into game number 3. Time to send you back to our commentary team for exactly that now.
Thanks, Red Eye. Oh, there we go. We both went for it.
One game I took it, one game you took it.
We didn't decide on the final one, but
Do
here
it at
we
the
are.
same time.
But you know what? Here's something we can decide on individually. Are we a believer in Empire, or are we a believer in LGD?
Gonna stick to my most cast region favorite, LGD, I guess.
Yeah, trying to fanboy here. I'll go for Empire. And we are already underway, and, well, Scotland coming out from Nova already. Just keep an eye out, just trying to see what's actually happening with Polska. One of the great things about Bounty Hunter early on is that you can do this.
Yeah, some combinations here that we've spoken about in the past with the Bounty Hunter track as well as the Tinker rockets. We'll have to see that, especially when he does get that blink available, can chase these heroes down. But they talked about it on the panel, that last pick, Zeus. Very interesting here. I don't think he should rush the Ags, but when he does get that Ags and has that Nimbus, it's going to help them. It's going to help the Disruptor as well as the Skywrath and the Axe to really just close in and hone in on that
Meanwhile,
Tinker.
though, with Polska, he might be in a little bit of trouble here. He's managed to get away. Should be fine as a result of that. The Disrupt will get away. Chalice, he was fighting a bit for that one.
He's still going after Miposhka with the Orb of Venom. Just really making him pay for staying nearby, but now Naive is here, and actually he's switched to the Terrorblade. He did take the Zeus earlier when they,
I didn't imagine that he would want to be on the Zeus. FN's better choice for that, and I mean, talking to Zeus, like I said, hopefully he doesn't go a bit too rushy towards that Axe. This isn't Slack's guides. Too many of my pubs ended up with Zeus's with no items but Axe. I know Slack's tweets were a result of that.
So he is here up against the Tinker over mid, and he's already level 2. How do you feel about this matchup?
I feel like it's actually quite nice, because Tinker's advantage is usually just blinding people, getting a little bit of advantage, and anyone that has to come close is going to suffer against the Tinker. But obviously as a Zeus you can stay far away, you can farm up. Usually the offset is that you can't really easily deny, but I don't think that's too much of a concern here.
And then we'll have to see how Yoku does on this Skywrath Mage. Last time they had the Skywrath Mage, it was amazing and really caused a lot of havoc for the side of LGD, and we'll see if it's able to do that again, because especially with the call, where you'll be able to drop down the Mystic Flare, I think it's quite a good pick here.
Well, 1 by 1 at 1 each lane is what we said last time, and it may do the same here. And look at this mid lane, we're just saying back and forth, just so much harassment on both of these heroes with the bot lane. Might go to Yoku here. Nova reveals himself, and Yoku finds himself a little bit too far away. Tries to reach the trees, but can he get away? Do not want to be given away in right now, especially seeing that reduces your effectiveness to harass, and he does die. So first blood, FY picks it up. No force Ghost Stick back as well. And that's a really good kill, because you're stripping him of Zin, and that was what really helped him just go over the top last time. Those bolts.
Yeah, strip him of that ink, get those early kills, make sure he doesn't get as farmed as and as much experience as he did in the first time he did play that Skywrath Mage. And those glaives early hurt. Those glaives early hurt.
Absolutely. it's also a case of if Terrorblade becomes too much of a problem, all that armor is worthless when you just bring Sansa up with the glaives. So it's actually a nice hero to have this type of game. It was interesting. I think the most interesting part about the Zeus pick was that they picked it after the Sansa had appeared, but it can still work quite well.
Double damage for X-Nova heading over towards mid. Not level 2, doesn't have Janata or Shuriken, but FN getting chased. There's the first shot coming through. Somnus going to continue on forward with the double damage of X-Nova. They've got the Soul from the Orb of Venom continuing forward. There's the Rockets, probably needs one more shot, and just gets the bottle, and X-Nova not going to get the kill, and under that tier 2 tower he goes, he's away.
So close. I mean, it's quite funny when you watch Zeus outrun a ganker. Zeus is incredibly slow and usually suffers for it every time. And they were just waiting. You saw, like, once he crossed halfway through the river, that was when they made their move. I think the interesting lane is definitely going to be this top one with Arme versus Gostic.
Yeah, the axe is actually switched from bottom to top, so that means they've sent the Terrorblade towards bottom.
Yeah, and Chalice did pursue that. The thing is they're trying to get away from that matchup because Clockwork's not too bad against this. And now Yoku coming across, looking for Chalice Metamorphosis. They will go for this kill, and Chalice should die. Trying to stay alive. Is it enough? One more hit, he gets a salve off. Actually cogs up, so they can't chase through. They've got no mana to work with either. Fantastically done to reach that tree line from Chalice.
And Naive sitting here very low, no mana to work with. He's going to have to be very careful in that lane, but now they know the Bounty Hunter's over top, so it's not too bad. But no, over bottom, they will lose him anyway. So Naive does drop. Chalice gets the kill. 2-0 early for LGD. And yes, sticking there with low health, low mana, not the best plan.
Yeah, you absolutely do not want to have to contend with this Clockwork as a Terrorblade. Just because, obviously, Metamorphosis you don't mind, but as soon as that's over, you know you're going to have to get close enough, and if he just steps forward, he can easily cogs you in.
And he's already level 4. Chalice just out leveling Naive right now, and they've got FY ready to go. He's also level 3, so they're keeping up with this Terrorblade.
Absolutely. And the mid lane I feel there's a slight advantage against Tinker. I say slight, he's got 6 last hits more than Zeus. In the top lane, Arme feeling the aggression here. The stun will protect him. They need to be careful because Gostic does have a creep wave. Nova just trying to harass Gostic down. And this is kind of a draw, but the bot lane, Terrorblade again.
Yeah, Chalice ending up getting that kill one more time, and I think FY is at, what, +6 intelligence at this point?
He's a very smart boy. And this combo is beautiful because you've got the slows coming out from Sansa, and that allows Clockwork to get on top, cogs in, Barrier Soul, and you just kill him every time. Meanwhile, Yoke in the mid lane, moving over to Somnus, and the spike damage is just too big. He's trying to stay alive and turn around for some kills, but Somnus, one more hit will do it. FM will back up Yoku. He should be fine. They were a little bit close, though.
Last word, and
it won't be his last word. He lives.
And they do get the kill on the Tinker. That's their first kill. Empire helping FN in this mid lane, now level 5. Yoku coming over mid, and again, being a nuisance to try and overwhelm LGD. So if he can continue to do this, it might work over mid and maybe in the top lane, but for bottom, I just think it might be too far gone. You've got Chalice almost even level 6, so they'll have that hook shot soon enough. But over top, there it is, the concussive shot as well as the arcane bolt. They've got Ame low, one more shot. There it is, the battle hunger ticks, and they'll get the kill. And they take out Gyrocopter as Ame just a little bit too far forward, and Yoku showing up to lane again.
So Gostic isn't going to go the battle hunger build though. He's going for the counter heal because it's classic. And oh no, he actually finds Bounty Hunter here. But Nova, I think he just got his invis off cooldown recently, so no point aggressing that. He doesn't know how long the guy's been invis for. But it does give him the bounties. And this kind of thing, like Axe, even when you're near that big creep wave, you can feel a little bit underwhelming. You just need to whittle your opponents down over time. And that works pretty well against a Gyro.
You know, we'll see what they're able to do up against that X, because he's actually controlled that lane quite well early.
Yeah, 21 last hits compared to the 17 on Gyro. And it's the fact that Gyro, he's short-range hero. He always has to get close to contest. But Chalice, he's already got level 6. So hookshot at the ready. He's thinking about going to Miposhka.
Yeah, setting up high and going past his tier 1, and maybe even looking for Naive, but Miposhka just putting that Shadow Poison on him and continuing to let it stack. Chalice can't continue to just let that stack up on him, as they will bring the Terrorblade over, and I think he does have Metamorphosis available.
The good thing is Nova hasn't revealed himself on the map, so they don't know if there's a ward in that bot lane or if it was just that Bounty Hunter was nearby. They might find that the bounty's top. Gostic gonna get going too, trying to move back to his tower quick enough. But FY here as well, a lot of damage coming out. The stun should land and the flat cannon just running through him. Thundergod's Wrath, not enough to get a turnaround kill. Nova, he'll just about live. No, he dies, and the hook shot through Yoku doesn't mind because the Vanish will stop Chalice from being able to chase. He needs to get away from this tower quickly. Taking a lot of damage, running out. If he gets hit, no, it's fine. The South comes out. Yoku has to back up because FY covers the escape. And Miposhka, and this guy in Disruptor is something to watch. So many saves every time. Chalice is not able to find the big impact he was looking for there when we went top.
Yeah, using that disruption again with the hookshot coming through, but now they look over bottom with Naive getting chased down. Rocket Barrage comes through, and that's his third death already. They take out the Terrorblade one more time, and yeah, they found kills in other lanes, but losing the Axe and then losing the Terrorblade, it really does slow down what you're looking for.
Your big concern is that if Tinker draws out Zeus, Tinker's fine with this, and at the same time, Gyro having a mixed experience back and forth, right? But Terrorblade is just having a terrible experience, and now Chalice, he might have a terrible one. They catch on the Axe, but he wants him, and Chalice actually taking a lot of damage. Gostic, not getting the spins now. Miposhka, he protects him. Chalice trying to run away, might tick out the Battle Hunger, just about going to survive. Zeus, he gets the kill though, and FN might look for more. FY trying to run away. Will make it under town. They do not want to die for this, even with all the resources available. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, Nova
gets hit by X Nova. There's the laser with the rockets dead to right. As Bounty Hunter between the tier 1 and the tier 2 will kill off this Skywrath Mage.
That's a good kill as well. Yoku is worth a decent amount of gold. He's halfway up in net worth chart. So finding that kill is totally worth it.
Yeah, somehow in front of Ame. And Ame has only died once, but I guess his farm has not been that good. The hookshot from long range from Chalice, and he will end up dropping Miposhka there.
This man has just got big cojones. He's basically just marking territory across the map now.
Yeah, gonna try and hold that hook shot to get through that disruption. As over top, Ghostic gets cleaned up by FY and Chalice. Again, just putting him into the cogs, having that battery assault, working with FY. A Silencer who's been involved in, I would say, 4 of 8, but now over towards bottom. You take a look, Yoku getting chased again. 3 heroes here. They should get the kill with the homing missile coming in and just survives with a little bit, but there's the global silence coming through. You take a look as Miposhka being chased by Ame. There's the rocket barrage coming in. The ulti from FN as well as the lightning bolt onto this gyrocopter gets him low, so he has to back off. They don't end up getting the Skywrath Mage, and they only clean up Miposhka.
And they had to throw out the global silence, which is a big deal. Just to get a kill into a disruptor for that, maybe not worth it. And it just kind of feels like, as this goes on, despite using ults like that, with Chalice still dominant around the map, what's your solution for this? I mean, Axe, once he gets a Blink Dagger, maybe you can then start to get aggressive, look for kills on the Somnus. It's going to be tough though, and speaking of tough things, FN tanky enough to deal with X Nova right now. X Nova just needs to get to 6. Once they reach that, that's when it gets a bit filthy with the Tinker combo.
Yeah, but they do find him. There's the silence coming through. Naive will help out with Yoku getting the kill with the Arcane Bolt. And yeah, Miposhka was the only death there on that Shadow Demon, but we'll see. Again, he was effective once he did hit level 6 the last time he was on the Shadow Demon. So we'll see where he goes, and we do have to deal with and see where these supports do with their level 6s. Is with Track, with Bounty Hunter, and the Tinker, it's going to be, I would say, a little bit more effective.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news is Tinker is farming really well. He's top net worth right now, and the hook shot from Chalice straight through an FN might farm a little bit better. Chalice actually secures the kill. They didn't want to leave a Tinker, but they might find more. Miposhka on the side, X Nova keep an eye on the Shuriken toss, and now Chalice gets across Cogs, and they'll find another kill, rather. Death. Well, Empire found another death, and Terrorblade, I mean, you don't want to be in this scenario. You're farming jungle, just trying to catch up on a TV.
Yeah, he is so far behind at the moment compared to, I would say, this whole LGD side with Chalice at 3,600 net worth. Yes, Gyrocopter is close, but look at how far away this Tinker has gotten, as Somnus is able to really pull ahead almost 1,000 net worth in front of the Zeus already.
He is getting a lot of dollar. Of course, he's going to want to focus on split pushing. It depends. If Clockwork can still find kills, keep finding kills like this, then they just go aggressive with the track, and then Tinker's always there with the missiles. That's going to be the catch.
X Nova now level 6, so they do have that track to work with, and Naive is in the jungle. If X Nova could spot him, they might be able to clean up the Terrorblade once again, but they might be looking for FN over mid. He is a level 9, but once the track is put on him, it does cause quite a number of issues.
Boschko's guarding him though. They're always keeping an eye on just in case this does happen. FN is the jackpot at the moment. That's how they get back in the bot lane. The global stance comes out. Jared taking a lot of damage, but now he's going to move across on the Skywrath. Chalice here as well. Yoku wants to turn around. The damage is enough. He gets to come to Arme, but Chalice will clean him up in return. 1-for-1 trade. But is it worth it? I mean, look at the net worths. The Skywrath is actually worth more gold.
Yeah, I think it ends up becoming worth it for LGD as Gyrocopter needs to find farm, and yeah, he's behind, but one that gives the kill to Somnus and takes out the Skywrath Mage, who is up there in terms of net worth.
FN's paranoid. He's just trying to find these wards all the time. He's at the same time looking for Nova.
Yeah, just trying to look for Nova, making sure that nobody's right next to him. As they've got 3 heroes up here, there's the hook shot. That comes through on Ghostic. They'll try and get him out of there as he does get pushed out of the cogs. There's the disruption. They trying to turn this around onto Chalice. Silenced up. Effin getting low. He'll end up falling. Now you take a look as FY, who's dominating, will get the kill on a Ghostic. They finally clean him up. Here's X-Nova getting the kill on a Miposhka, and Yoku will clean through X-Nova, make it a 3-for-3 trade. But that is Empire losing their Axe and their Zeus.
That final spin actually is what allowed them to really get the extra return kills. If not, LGD get a better trade there, hands down. So, but Empire will be happy with that. I mean, even if it's even gold both ways, they need more money. They're not really feeling very effective right now. The problem is, so much of this money keeps going on your Skywrath. And you're actually looking at the net worth chart right now, and the way this is split up. This is usually the effect the Bounty Hunter has for his team, right? Everyone is evened up on gold. Instead, you've got Terrablaze, your poorest. You've got your Skywrath support, second richest. And then your 2 other cores in either side.
I'm actually quite surprised on how this net worth is kind of... You've got 15 kills and 4 heroes from LGD make up that bottom 5. It just doesn't make
Chalice.
full balance of sense.
Here, he's got the hook shot if he wants to use it, but now he's scared away because there's 3 heroes here. Chalice, maybe that aggression finally tipping over, not in his favor.
Yeah, they had 3 other heroes there ready to go. They'll take out Chalice. It shows how quickly they can take him out, but when Chalice gets the upper hand and comes with a hook shot, it's not easy to get away from him and keep your life, so...
I'm kind of glad he didn't use the hook shot. Like, that just would have been cooled down. He still would have died. Annoys the Zeus a bit, but still dies for it. And X-Nova, he really wants to score it. And the life of a bounty hunter just sitting around. There's a smoke by Empire, and he will not spot this.
4 people smoked up as they have terribly bleeding over. Bottom Naive is the only one there. They're looking for something, and there's a rocket flare comes out, but no one's hit. All the way towards bottom, and they're still smoked up, and they throw that lightning bolt down, but not finding anybody.
Yeah, absolutely nobody here, so they'll just look for a tower. I mean, they've brought all these heroes this way, they need to get a tower. Otherwise, this time wasted here, it just becomes unacceptable at this stage of the game.
And they actually don't go for the tower. They're going to head towards mid once again. The TP over from the Silencer, and LGD, they're posturing up on this tier 1. They don't exactly know where Empire are. They've been off the map for so long. You got to assume that they're smoked up. And there it is. There's the spotting of the Bounty Hunter. They take him out so quickly. Only gets the track on the FN. And it's that vision you gain from this Zeus, especially against the Bounty Hunter, that just, it kind of shuts him down.
I was wondering when that's going to happen, because FN was just sitting there. You know, you had the Bounty Hunter in Viz. You know he's going to check at least for a ward, because I think that was what he was looking for originally, as a ward at that place to spot their gank incoming. Instead, you get yourself a kill.
Yeah, they end up taking that Bounty Hunter out. But again, you look at where the net worth is, and it is 2,000 in favor of LGD, but how far ahead this Tinker is. 3,000 net worth ahead, level 14 compared to level 11. The hookshot comes out from Chalice, pushing the Zeus back. 4-staff back into the cogs. FN with a call down on top will be killed off.
Sitting there like, this is my safety zone. I think this is my safety zone. Is this your cogs? Yes, this is your cogs. I mean, he was pretty bamboozled there. The cogs pushback was the right move. He had no way to escape the 4-staff. Now Yoki wants to be a little bit careful. Taking a lot of damage here, actually.
Yeah, rocket flare. There's the rockets coming through, and Ghostic is locking in this Bounty Hunter. X-Nova trying to run away. The track comes out, and there's the Shuriken toss. Perfectly done by this Bounty Hunter, who's still not dead. Will finally fall to Miposhka. On the high ground is Somnus, who gets sundered up by Naive. And they might be able to find Ghostic. They will be able to find Ghostic. X-Nova gets the kill. They'll take out Miposhka, and that is 3 falling for Empire.
X-Nova, so dirty there, man. That was a fantastic shuriken toss. He even got the earn off onto the axe. He actually got a double kill for himself. And I mean, Skywrath is like, yes, I've got away. I survived this, but suddenly, last second, you just see this this awkward projectile flying straight for your face.
Yeah, the shuriken bounced off of the axe into the Skywrath Mage, and that's the power of track.
Yep, well now with the track online, I mean, we might start seeing a shift because when you look at it, the gold is very much focused on 2 individuals on the side of LGD.
It's just as long as X-Nova is able to survive and they can use this track successfully, because there's been times where he's been out of the fight, they have a more effectiveness on Somnus, and he's already effective with the rockets and the lasers. He's going to have that ag soon. But with that track as well, it just makes him a step up.
And Empire are very squishy. Most of the lineup is incredibly squishy. Axe is the exception. So you need Axe to initiate, you need to be on top of the Tinker. If he's allowed to sit on the side of a fight and just do his thing, you're going to lose everyone around you so quickly.
And the Gyrocopter is caught up. He was so far behind and now is sitting second on the net worth.
Sorry, at this point in the game, you're actually using Metamorphosis just to farm the jungle. Like, that's actually really rough. This Terrorblade, he's richest on his team now, but you just feel so poor in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, just so far behind. Somnus and Gyrocopter still pulling ahead. Ame doing a lot better this game than he was on the Void, getting a chance to actually farm. Ags finally picked up on the Tinker, and this is where I think it's going to start, where now you've got this Ags on Tinker. You work with that track, and things get worse for Empire, already sitting 6,000 net worth behind.
Absolutely. And it's just going to climb at this rate. The Tinker's farming much quicker than anyone individually on the side of Empire. At the same time, you've always got that bounty gold for tracks when you look at the gangs. And they're wrapping around now. Chalice, Ame, even FY. Some hook shots, and they might actually find someone. Look how deep Gostic is. He wants to be the one initiating, but this is the problem. They're going to get jumped on. Miposhka spotted out, Somnus, and there's a hook shot through. They catch on to Yoku. That's the big kill. They'll find him. They'll follow for more. Miposhka stuck in the tree line. He will die. 2 quick pickoffs, and Gostic's just there, just in the tree line. Where am I? What am I meant to be doing here?
Gets the courier, and it's a little bit of a consolation prize, but he was so far back behind that tier 1 tower. Once Somnus had that blink forward and put him out of range of Ghostic, like, there was no way to make up that range, and those heroes were already dead, so he had to give up on it.
I mean, this is the thing, like, they're just essentially ignoring Gostic and just moving around him. Like we said, that's the only person that can actually survive these ganks. Just avoid him.
So we're not going to kill you. We'll kill everybody else around you.
You will witness our dominance, and then you can tell anyone else.
Over mid, they're trying to find FN. The blade mail popped by Chalice. Miposhka continuing to put the poison on Tim, but there's the laser. Here come the rockets. Here comes the shurikens bouncing. With more rockets, it's on its way, Zeus. There's no way to extend the inevitable, and you are gone, sir. 2 heroes dead on Empire.
I mean, it's hilarious to watch. Like, Chalice just sat there with blade mail, like, anyone? You gonna hit me? You wanna hit me? And they don't, because the moment they do, the Tinker's just gonna be on the side hitting them up. So even when Chalice looks helpless, he most definitely is not.
Yeah, and they're able to push these towers, clean them up, and clean up these heroes too. You think, how far am I able to run? Well, if you've got track on you, you can run to the ends of the earth, but you ain't making that far from Tinker. And that's the problem, is we saw with that Zeus, he can't fight in a Tinker. One of those rockets is already just too much damage.
Yeah, he's got